here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. You ask me now? Now that you have helped werewolves slaughter an entire clan? I don't. Had they been stronger, they would have survived. It is simple enough. Still, it seems rather ghoulish to ask me so casually for an opinion while their corpses grow cold. You are elven yourself. Do you feel a profound kinship with all other elves, simply by virtue of their race? Of course not. Too many of our kind think we deserve pity, simply because we have failed to defend ourselves. I know little enough of the Dalish, other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter, and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease, and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book. A Dalish whore, thank you very much. It was my sole distinction amongst the other elven boys in the whorehouse. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all. Are we so different, you and I? Buffeted by the winds of fate, brought to this point by both circumstance and excellence. Is the thought that you have arrived here solely out of self-determination better, I wonder? No matter. My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. We were not allowed such things, of course, and eventually they were found and taken. I am thankful you found a pair so much like them. Not at all. I think of myself as Antivan. Still, that did not stop me from running off to join a clan when I drew near Antiva City once. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
What can I get you, stranger? What can I get you, stranger?
I knew this was coming. Spent all the coin preparing, so I ain't dying over it. Show them some mercy!
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas. We carry items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Now's...
They're from the guild! I know that's the one they hired! Stop them!
Down you go!
I am done with that one.
You really killed all those abominations? I didn't think it was possible. I thought we'd all die here. I'm sure you need supplies after that, don't you?
Got it. Enchantment? Enchantment!
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yes.
Twisted creatures. Alright, alright. Can I get you a ladder? Maybe get off my back?
Now we can have
Excellent!
We travel the roads at the lady's behest. We fight for you, Warden.
Got it. All right. I'll get on it.
Fine.
My brother and his family made it out of Lothering. He said that the Darkspawn attacked it the very next day.
The Darkspawn took Lothering, did they?
I don't know. I expect so, since there was no one there to stop them.
This about the guild? I swear, I didn't tell them anything. I just took the sovereigns.
King Logain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign Dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Logain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
None more important than mine.
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
They hide because they are dwarves.
I would challenge any race to fare as well. Our king is dead. Endrinidukan returned to the Stone Knot 3 weeks ago. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden. I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
I'll have your head, Grey Warden!
More blood! Where's the next one?
Try to be merciful.
This'll be fun!
Not win.
Got it. Now is better than later.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
Atrost Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated.
Imagine if all of those were golems.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
Spare a few bits for an old man. I haven't eaten in days.
How did you get... They say the Darkspawn have
Bit
left
of
for the
food,
surface.
my lord. Some coin. For the ancestors' sake.
These are not your ancestors. You taint the memory of our paragons with your presence. Get back to Dusttown where you belong, Brand, or I'll throw you into the deep roads as a snack for the stalkers!
No! No, no, don't hurt me! I just wanted some food.
Show respect, Surfacer. You're in the Hall of Heroes, home to the best of us. Paragons, dwarves who achieve such greatness, they're considered ancestors even if they yet walk among us. If only we had one now. A unifier. A voice like that, there would be no dissension. Surfacers always assume nothing happens underground without them. Many are trying, despite our stalemate. Goodbye, Warden. I hope you're not needed.
They say your mother is Flemeth, a witch of the Kokari Wilds.
They also say that washing your feet in winter makes you catch cold in the head, but we all know that is not true. But sometimes they are right, and they are right in this.
You know the stories about...
Of course. You think my mother would let me go without telling me all the stories of her youth?
My mother told me stories too. She was the one who kindled my love of the old tales and legends.
My mother's stories curdled my blood and haunted my dreams. No little girl wants to hear about the wilder men her mother took to her bed, using them till they were spent, then killing them. No little girl wants to be told that this is also expected of her once she comes of age.
I see.
No, you don't. You really don't.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew.
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Do not speak that way about the man who should be king!
I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. If I find that soddy fool, I'll have him in the Legion. Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No Paragons here. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Forender from his estate. Surfacers appoint no Paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry. Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. Yes, you should.
Where did they put all the rock, I wonder?
Did you see that? I cannot believe what this city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive. Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir. Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont. The city is torn apart. King Endrin is dead, and the Assembly can't decide who takes the throne. Lord Harrowmont or that monster Balin. Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along. He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less. Only as a potential match for one of his sons. He was a good king, stern and fair and just. He died in bed after his eldest son was murdered, and the Assembly condemned his second son for it. I cannot blame him for preferring to join the ancestors in eternal peace, if Balin didn't murder him himself. I am Nerav Helmi, third daughter of the second matron of House Helmi. And you, stranger, what brings you to Orzammar at such a time? A Grey Warden? That explains why they allowed you past the gates. What kind of aid do you mean? A blight? Now? But our warriors are killing each other in the streets. I'm sorry, stranger. I fear there will be no aid for you in Orzammar. If you seek Lord Harrowmont's support, I suggest you talk with his trusted advisor, Dulin Forender. He might be able to get you an audience.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Then I'm truly honored. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins? I can't even imagine. A thousand pardons for soiling your path with my presence. Do you have any more time now? I know you're busy, but it will just take a moment. I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. What do you mean? Oh, you're looking for payment. My father's shop refines lyrium for smithing. If you help me, I'm sure I could get you some. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcasts. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperiums for Tikum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Greetings, and welcome to Garin Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad vein. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging, then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work you've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself. Of course we are. Weak surfacers like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs in hours. Weird seeing how big you are. Even surface dwarves lose it. Us down here, though, we should be able to handle it just fine. Only not too much and not every day, and not breathing the dust and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck. Not crazy, just a little forgetful. Don't worry, I'm fine when I work. Just look at my wares. I have the best blades here. Enchanted to hold fire, ice, anything you want to put in it. Right, best in the trade, you know. I work the ore myself.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. And I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs? I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Gotta boil them before roasting, but otherwise no, safe as sand. Some people swear they make good pets. May as well leash a turnip, I say. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
Yes? Something you need? Vast holes carved from the stone of the mountain, lined with the chiseled marble figures of paragons, so fine as to mirror life itself. Soaring ceilings grand enough to make any man forget the sky and the sun, and to question the reason for their existence. I have heard of these things and more, but none prepared me for what I have seen here. It is marvelous. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. Why, thank you so... I have heard much about the halls of the Dwarven kings, but the stories do it no justice. It is so strange, harsh, yet beautiful. And have you seen those tiny pig-like burrowing animals? They are adorable. I wish I could have one as a pet. But they must be hard to catch and... Oh, just ignore me. I'm so silly sometimes. Let's just go. Hey, what's down there?
I notice the sister has been spending a great deal of time with it.
With it? Ah, you mean him. I'm surprised you would notice such things.
I am made of rock. This does not make me dense.
I suppose not.
Does the sister not see a problem with serving two masters?
Ignoring the serving bit, I'll assume you mean the maker. I entered the chantry as a lay sister, but I never took vows. Even had I, the chantry doesn't prohibit two people from coming together in love.
I was told that the sister left behind the service of the Maker to journey here.
You never really leave the Maker, not in your heart.
That seems like an argument for infidelity.
You are very catty for a walking statue, you know that?
It has been mentioned.
All right, all right.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said. How can that be? There's always a circle in every human nation. All the books agree. But what will happen in the Mageborn now? They'll still need somewhere to train, they'll need a new circle, and people to help them rebuild. I'm a smith. I can build whatever they need. Did you tell them that? I'll go right now. I'll do whatever it takes, just to be there. Thank you for asking. That's more than anyone else has done for me.
Ancestors, guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe, for you know what it is to mourn. I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Filda, widow of Turak of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way. The Deep Roads are where Darkspawn come from. They descend for miles into the earth, and we must patrol them constantly or be overrun. I lost my husband to them. If I lost my son the same way, perhaps his body could be recovered. His bones. Something to ensure his spirit is not trapped forever. That would be some comfort. You're asking what I would pay for your services? I have little money since my husband died.
You can't demand payment. Don't be cruel.
No, the Deep Roads are dangerous. If I had anything of worth... But wait. I saved his shield, the masterpiece my husband smithed. I was saving it for Ruck's return. If someone were to find my son or his body, they can have the shield with my blessing. How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself. A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
Watch out for that puddle of... whatever it is.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade. Can't find ore without splitting some stone. My investments are solid, I'll be fine. The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under our feet. It opens people to change. Orzammar will decide what we can or can't be. Blight may be imminent on the surface, but our warriors are well seasoned against dark spawn. There will be topsiders left for trade. There's no end to you. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. I'm Brother Burkel of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers. You speak as if these people have deliberately chosen to reject the Maker, but most of them haven't even heard his name. How can they choose the path of enlightenment if they never learn that the path exists? Andraste revealed the truth. The Maker took her up to live at his right hand and... No, never mind. It's clear you strayed too far to be brought back with a single conversation.
I think I just stepped in something.
There's a rich one. We'll get plenty till I get to the last. Oh, get off my back. Got it.
I am your death!
Now it's better than later.
No mercy! You are hopeless! Now we get our hands.
Your clothes are so fancy. Did you get them topside? My mam used to say they don't got no stone to protect them topside. If I go up there, I'm gonna fall into the sky. Yes. When my da left, he never came back. Who's to say he didn't fall up, eh? Nugs? Yes. They don't got much meat on them, but down here you can't be picky. Better than nothing. What for? You going to cook them up yourself? Yeah, I can find a nug for you. Could even get one from outside the city. Those ones in the deeps don't eat as much garbage. I don't know what they eat, but they always seem healthier, you know? Shiny coats, bright eyes. How much you giving me? Give me some time. I'll hunt them down for you.
Spare a bit for the needy? Please. It's not for me, it's for my child. Have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I.
A question I ask every day. He was eager enough for a daughter who would bring him into the mining caste. But since the boy was born, I've not seen nose or heel of the lout. And me alone on the street, forbidden to return to my family unless I... But no! I can't bear to even think of it! My name is Zerlinda. I wasn't always like this. I was born to a mining caste family. We weren't wealthy, but I never went hungry before. Now it's all gone, and it's my own fault. Ancestors curse me, but there's nothing I can do to set it right. My son's father is casteless, as is he. I used to be a minor, but my parents stripped my caste and refused to accept me back. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him. In Orzammar, lineage is traced through the child's same-sex parent. Had my baby been a girl, she would have been a minor like me. But as a boy, my son is considered tainted forever by his father's seed. How can you say that? I cannot abandon my baby. The Shapers teach that only children of true lineage exist, not those born casteless. But they never carried a child. He cries like any other infant, and smiles when he's warm and full. I can't kill him because of an accident of birth, an accident I forced on him. Maybe it would be better to spare him that. Let him join the ancestors. I could go home. I have to be alone now. Excuse me.
I got him. He's all squirmy, but he's a big fella. You said you would pay me. But I could have lived off that fella for a whole week. I went down beyond the mines to get him for you. But you said... Ah, blast it. Blast all you fancy folk.
A terrible notion.
Terrible idea.
Oh, it's one of those subterranean bunny pigs. Oh, look at him. Come here, you. He just needs a bath. Don't listen to the mean man. You're not dirty. Thank you so much. You've made my day.
Go on, I'm out of the Nug game. Got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found. You're the best wrangler I've ever seen, but there's more out there. You're the best. A trust Vala, my Nug wrangling friend.
From what I've heard of Dwarven politics, I'm almost surprised we haven't seen blood running these streets.
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king.
Legion of the Dead sighted battling Darkspawn near Orzammar. They have no orders while throne stands empty. Make Harrowmont your king now!
No offense, but I've often wondered how you people get by with your awkwardly long limbs.
The Idukans have held the throne for 370 years. That's long enough.
This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory.
I hope you'll support Lord Harrowmont.
Lord Balin is the voice of change and defense. Lord Harrowmont is the voice of stagnation and ruin.
For such a short people, they do rather like their buildings tall.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? It would be hard not to notice the Grey Warden and his eclectic entourage. I hear you seek the aid of Orzammar's finest. Ah, ancient documents indeed. These were signed in the reign of Eithnar Bimo, Paragon and King. That was 16 generations ago. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. You must understand, Harrowmont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper. That hurts worst of all. That Harrowmont would take advantage of the dying king's delirium to plant such poisonous suspicions against his own son. After that, you understand why Balin cannot trust the word of a stranger, however reputable that stranger might be. Wait, we must be cautious about whom to trust, but perhaps we could find a way. Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmi. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your tree. Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies. They are the final arbiters of all disputes in Orzammar. Unfortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them, and his grandfather was Lord Harrowmont's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion. Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmi's adventurous likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
The assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandelor, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace. Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The Assembly is blind to all else. This is their world, and it ended when Endrin died. I must admit, Warden, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Harrowmont, and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. The king may recommend any successor he chooses. Lord Harrowmont was chosen after Balin was implicated in his own brother's death. Better a trusted advisor lead us than a scheming child. Balin's claim to the throne is based on nothing but his own pride. In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Harrowmont under a pretense of friendship. So I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you. If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Harrowmont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down. That would be enlightening, though I hope you won't pry too deeply into things they don't wish revealed. If you wish to show your loyalty, enter the proving as his lordship's champion. With your order's reputation, I've no doubt the ancestors would favor your arm. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then. Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Gwiddon and Baizyl. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
News of the hour. Support Lord Harrowmont at your own peril. Darkspawn will overrun Orzammar within the year if he becomes king. Experts say.
raise your voice in support of Lord, the one true king of Orzammar and our future savior!
It'll be 2 years tomorrow. By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Branka didn't go alone, Ogren. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha!
You lift a weapon or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman. Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled. Ogren's a drunken wretch. He comes up here 2-3 times a week, hounding people to lead some suicidal rescue mission after Branka. Gets quite violent about it. I'd be scared if they hadn't practically gelded him after he killed young Lord Mino. Well, he killed Lord Mino's youngest son in a duel to first blood. It was a huge scandal. Ogren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the Deep Roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled. The only Paragon in the last 4 generations. Quite an honor for a girl from the Smith caste. Chasing some old treasure. She was quite secretive. Outright rude, really. She said she never asked if found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the Darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her. She invented a smokeless fuel that let the Smith caste increase their output by nearly 1/3. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a Paragon. They moved Branka, Ogren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name. Well, before she was a Paragon, she was just a smith, and Ogren was one of the best warriors of his generation. It's been 2 years since Branka left. No one has ever stayed in the Deep Roads that long and survived. The search teams who went out found nothing, but Ogren wants to keep risking lives searching. She's still his wife, isn't she? Even if she took their entire house into the Deep Roads and abandoned him. If you see any guardsmen, tell them Ogren was at it again.
You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. But there's more out there.
So, I've been hearing rumors that a certain wine merchant is falling behind on his payments.
I can't imagine what you mean. I pay my expenses.
What about the expenses your good friend Jarvia incurs when providing your protection? It's not easy ensuring nothing bad happens. That no one decides to just burn everything in your store.
My store! Please, I don't have much. Business isn't good. People are scared. Tell Jarvia I'll get her money.
Jarvia is not happy with your promises, old man. Now let's go inside and see what you've been holding back.
This is all I have right now. I could get more if I sell something.
Well, well. Looks like we have a visitor. Friend of yours?
You get out of here. This is private business. Please, don't get involved with this. You don't know what they're like. Then allow me to make some introductions. These are dangerous times in Orzammar, stranger. Lucky us, the merciful Jarvia is offering protection from the chaos. You're wearing some fancy stuff there. Might make you a target. So if you want the Carta's guarantee of safety, it's yours for the reasonable price of 10 gold sovereigns. Or I can't say what might happen. Are you going to make your donation to the Stranger Safety Fund? Or do I have to show you how dangerous Orzammar is? Whatever you say, dead man.
Be careful!
Sounds better than later. It's a waste of time. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
What have you done? Great ancestors, he's dead! In my store. I have to get out of here. I have to hide. Jarvia will hunt me down for this. For painting my name on the largest target in Orzammar? Sodding stone, why do you think we pay Jarvia's extortion? You've ruined me. If I die, it's your fault. I have to run.
I'll get on it.
So I take it that the Swamp Witch and the Grey Warden are, intimate?
I am hoping that is not a reference to Alistair.
Because it believes I'm an oblivious moron.
Anything is possible. As to the original question, is there a reason you ask?
I'm simply curious as to whether or not it bewitched the Grey Warden.
I have no need to force anything from men.
Oh, my apologies then. I was about to offer my congratulations for a task accomplished.
And not intended as a backhanded compliment at all, yes?
Not at all. I'm the soul of politeness.
Ah, the highlight of underground existence, I take it.
Watch for Piotr Naidukin. He's won the squad combat 4 years running. He has 11 decapitations so far. He needs just 3 more for the one-season record. You sodding bet. First cousin, son of Endrin's own sister, and a second cousin from the Canolda Naidukin line. When he was alive, Prince Trian called Piotr the Horns of the Naidukin army. Front row seats at every grand proving since my father took me on his shoulders. Name's Varick. I got a controlling interest in a mine off the old Roostin Tig. But my backers know not to hand me a pick any day there's blood on the stone, if you know what I mean. Me? Are you out of your mind? I'm a miner, not a warrior. They change from round to round. Sometimes it's bare hands, sometimes weapons, sometimes pairs or squads. It's announced when the fight begins. That's about all the warning anyone gets. Sure. Like King Endrin was just a noble. A proving is a sacred art. Any dispute brought to the proving ground is settled by the ancestors' decision, and no one can protest it. I'm telling you, Piotr will take the prize. You can put gold on it.
Guards, remove this intruder.
This is a private area. Combatants only.
I'll get on it.
Don't take it personally. Hanashan's a member of the Silent Sisters. She doesn't talk to anyone. They're an order of female warriors, founded by Astith the Grey, a woman of the warrior caste who first fought for women's right to be soldiers. When no one listened to her words, Astith cut out her tongue and dedicated herself to training until she won a grand proving bare-handed. The women who joined her order cut out their tongues in her honor. I am Farinden. I serve as Hanashan's trainer and translator. As a Silent Sister, Hanashan cut out her tongue like the ancient Paragon, Astith the Grey. As you might imagine, she requires my services for more mundane tasks. The Silent Sisters support the sitting king. They are loyal servants to the Idukans. Then you have lost. Even in the ring, every man and woman brings an army if people support them. But she who fights without cause is only training.
You looking at something?
Get out of here!
You new in the fights? I don't remember seeing you before. It's a pleasure. Sorry it can't be longer. Name's Gwiddon, and I just tendered my resignation. Somehow I don't think the ancestors will favor me today. It's not so much what happened, as what's going to. I heard from a reliable source Lord Harriman's already given up the throne. Balin called this whole proving to let his lordship save face when he concedes. Exactly. I'd back Harriman as he asked, but if he's giving up, I won't sacrifice my family so he can retire with dignity. Oh? And where did you hear this that's more reliable than a member of the Assembly? I suppose there's nothing his lordship would do without consulting Dulin. He's always been his top man. Maybe you're right. I'm just a warrior. I've always tried to stay out of these noble politics. If I find out this whole thing was some flunky of Balin's lying to me for his own gain, No, you're right. I owe Lord Harriman more than that.
Do not disturb me. I must meditate before my fight.
Look, I already told the Proving Master I withdrew. Do you have to keep harassing me? Why, I'm Baizyl Harriman, but you know that. Why else would you... if you weren't looking for me, do me a favor and pretend I never said anything. Nothing. I'm leaving the Proving. You do that. I told you, I'm not fighting. What more do you want? I know it hurt my cousin, and I don't mean anything personal. Just tell Dulin, tell him I sprained my wrist. I'm going to sit this out. Oh, don't put it that way. Look, it's just, when I was younger, I had a thing with this Idukan girl, Revelka. Lesser cousin, nowhere near the throne. Her family wanted her marrying up, so they matched her with a BMO. But we didn't exactly stop seeing each other. She's married to a prominent Desher's heir. We should have stopped a long time ago, but I love her. Do you know what that's like? Now Balin found out, and I can't even help my cousin for fear he'll tell her husband. You're probably right. I'll go home now.
The proving will begin shortly. I'm sure you can find a place in the stands. Or were you here to take part in the fight? Well, that's a surprise. Never thought the Grey Wardens would take an interest in our king. Let me just put you into the schedule here. Now, is there a particular name you wish listed? I'll just call you Grey Warden, since those elven names are such a mouthful. We actually have an opening in the first round. Are you ready to start? Fight start at the gong and go to first blood. No eye gouging, no groin pulls. The rules of each bout will be announced when it starts. You should be comfortable with normal weapons and lyrium-enhanced weapons, in single combat, pairs, or battle units. Are you ready to start? Looks like Sewern's drawn first bout. He was one of the youngest champions ever. Beat his own father at 12 years old. All for the right to earn his battle status 2 years early. Are you ready to start? That's what I like to hear. I will warn you, though. This is your last chance to make preparations or meet the competition. Once the fights begin, there are no new additions to the roster. All withdrawals are treated as losses and a sign of the ancestors' disfavor. Do you want to start, or would you like some time? The fighters' quarters are behind the ring. Go down to the ring, then. I'll be right there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. First up is Zevran of the warrior caste. Many of you remember when Zevran made history as a lad of 12 by defeating his own father in this very ring. Today, he fights as a champion for Prince Balin. Opposing him, in Lord Haramont's name, is a member of the famed Grey Wardens.
In the name of House Idukan, and our future King Balin.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
Now it's better than later.
The winner is the Grey Warden! That was an exciting start, Warden. Zevran is rarely trounced, and so thoroughly. Are you ready for your next opponent? Excellent! Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round, Haramont's champion takes on the notorious duo, the warrior caste's twin terrors, now fighting for Prince Balin, the Aja and Lukjan.
May the stone honor you.
When you fall.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
So you can get off my back?
The winner is the Grey Warden! Well, that was an exciting bout. 2-on-1, and you took them both easily. Are you ready for your next opponent? Well, this bout should be quick and dirty. You'll be fighting Hanashan, one of the legendary Silent Sisters. She's a ferocious fighter and dedicated enough to cut out her own tongue. Are you ready to begin? All right then, I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Haramont's champion has held the field so far, but how will he do against one of the legendary Silent Sisters? We'll find out as the Warden faces Lady Hanashan, who proved her worth to Paragon Ashtith the Grey by cutting out her own tongue. And to our Prince Balin by fighting in his name. First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight!
All right, all right.
The winner is the Grey Warden! Haramont will be pleased, Warden. The Silent Sister support was a great boost for Balin. Are you ready for your next opponent? This should be a good match. You'll battle Wojek Ivo, master of all weapons, prisoner of none. He makes it a point never to use the same technique twice. Are you ready to begin? All right then, I'll see you out there. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. This round is paired combat. Just as Kiatchet fought as King Bloodlik II defending our empire, so have dwarves always fought alongside a second. Master of all weapons, prisoner of none, Wojek Ivo has never won the same way twice. What will he do today, lords and ladies? And will it win the day for Prince Balin? Grey Warden, choose your second, for you face Wojek Ivo and Valans. Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight!
You're gonna regret this! Someone's going to fall. Sure won't be me! More blood. Where's the next one?
The winner is the Grey Warden! Wojek Ivo is one of the best this arena has seen, Warden. Haramont picked wisely. Are you ready for your next opponent? This is the championship round. A full squad-on-squad combat. Piotr Naidukan leads the same team he's taken to victory in over a dozen Deep Roads expeditions. Are you ready to face the final test? May the ancestors choose wisely. This is a glory proving, fought under the eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Endrin. Only 2 warriors remain. Fighting for his royal cousin Balin, Piotr Naidukan has led his team to triumph over every unit so far. Challenging him on behalf of Lord Haramont, the Grey Warden has risen from nothing to stand at the competition summit. Each will lead a full unit of 4 soldiers to see once and for all whom the ancestors favor.
You fight well, but your judgment is questionable. The throne will never leave House Idukan.
Last one standing will be declared victor. Fight!
Can I get to the ladder so you can get off my back?
the Grey Warden! Congratulations! You defeated the man Prince Trian himself once called the Horns of my army. Do you deny this Grey Warden has earned the championship? Then it is my honor to declare this Grey Warden champion of the Proving, who has shown that the ancestors favor Lord Harrowmont. I'd call that arrogant, but your performance justifies it. It was a gift just to watch you fight, Warden.
You showed them. The ancestors are smiling on Lord Harrowmont today.
When my arm heals, you watch out, Duster.
Not bad for a surfacer.
Ancestors watch over your path.
That was an excellent showing. We were honored by your participation, Warden.
That was a good fight. Miaja learned a lot from you.
So did Luke John.
Your victory means nothing. The Assembly knows better than to base its vote on one proving.
I can't believe it! The ancestors came out of the sodding ground to kiss your feet, Duster!
So you've proven to be every bit the snake I feared. You agreed to aid my prince, then turn on him in the most public forum in Orzammar. Well, you'll never meet him now, traitor. Not until he's on the throne and tosses your sorry hide into the deep roads. Explain what? That you just realized what a puling imbecile Harrowmont is, and want to throw your lot in with a winner? I see your point. Had you come to us first, Harrowmont would have suspected you. But now, he has no reason to think you're anything other than his champion. On the proving grounds and off.
Bah! Why are we even discussing this? Fool's errand upon fool's errand, that is all it ever seems to get up to.
Are you saying you'd infiltrate his ranks for us? Let the prince know what's happening on the inside? That's a gold-plated offer. But I still have no proof you'll do what you say. If you really want Balin's trust, you'll have to prove your loyalty to Harrowmont is just an act. What has he asked you to do next? Then find out and come tell me. If you want to be of use to the prince, this is your chance to prove it. And stay away from Lord Helmi and Lady Dace. I'm sure we can find a better way to prove your worth. I look forward to seeing you again.
You are very beautiful, Morrigan.
Tell me something I do not know.
But you are always dressed in such rags. It suits you, I suppose. A little tear here, a little rip there to show some skin. I understand.
You understand I lived in a forest, I hope?
Maybe we could get you in a nice dress one day. Silk. No, maybe velvet. Velvet is heavier, better to guard against the cold in Ferelden. Dark red velvet. Yes. With gold embroidery. It should be cut low in the front, of course. We don't want to hide your features.
Stop looking at my breasts like that. 'Tis most disturbing.
You don't think so? And if it's cut low in the front, we must put your hair up. Show off that lovely neck.
You are insane. I would sooner let Alistair dress me.
It'll be fun, I promise. We'll get some shoes too. Shoes! We could go shopping together.
A brawl would be a pleasant diversion right about now.
I trust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? Aye? Maybe I can help. You must be the one he's waiting for. Table at the back.
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew? Don't bust a gut or anything. I was just being friendly. Don't look at me. I already offered once.
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped me. Lord Nerav Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. As you wish.
What do you want? Hey, I heard about you. Grey Warden, coming from the surface. Great crisis in the world. People are saying how you've thrown yourself on Harrowmont's wagon train. I figured you'd be the one, you know, who could help me find Branka. But I guess you're just like all the rest. Power-hungry deep lords. The only real concern they have is whose ass gets the throne. You don't have to play dumb, Warden. Their lackeys only come to me when they want something. Well, if you want the secrets of a Paragon, do the work and find her. There, now that's the abuse I'm used to. I still don't trust you, of course. Your boss, he's like the rest of them. I know he's been poking around, trying to find things out about her, what she was looking for. Won't tell me spit, though. He looking to take it for himself? A little lost technology of the ancients to throw Balin right out of the picture? You are looking for it. Of course, that's all anyone cares about. Well, sod off and sod your mother too. I need a bleeding drink. You keep on your errands. Until your boss really commits to looking, you're getting nothing but smoke out of old Ogren.
They're everywhere! I can't take it! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends! There's things older than Darkspawn. And once you're in the story, they find you. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
Atrasvala, champion. I hear your performance in the proving was nothing short of amazing. I thank you for whatever you said to Gwiddon. He fought like a Berescarn and showed many Deshers the strength of House Harriman's support. There can no longer be any doubt where your sympathies lie. If you're ready, Lord Harriman will see you now. His lordship is looking forward to meeting you.
Awaiting orders.
I appreciate what you have done, Warden, and I apologize for putting one of your rank through such trials. I am Lord Pyrel Harriman, and I thank you for your efforts to help me preserve King Endrin's throne. You may not know the story, but Balin is actually the youngest of three. Endrin's eldest, Trian, was murdered in the Deep Roads not a year ago. His middle son was found standing over the body and was exiled. But I've always found it suspicious that Balin knew just where to look. Endrin loved his sons too much to voice such suspicions. But he knew Balin's only interest in ruling was to further his own power. I have never sought the throne. My role was to serve Endrin, first as his advisor, then as an elected Desher in the Assembly. A Harriman has never been king, and I always assumed Trian would rule after his father. But both Endrin and my colleagues have asked me to step up, and I will not back down when Orzammar needs me. The Assembly represents the voices of the wisest, most noble families. While we need a single king to preside over important functions and lead us in battle, the Assembly better represents all in Orzammar. Ultimately, the Assembly decides what troops to send. If they no longer fear civil war, they'll have no reason to hold back. If you want my support to count, I will have to be king. And right now, there is no sure way to get there. Have you heard of a woman named Jarvia and the criminal Carta she runs? Glad you're so eager. If you help me shut her down, we can show the Assembly I am the right king to defend Orzammar. Jarvia hides her base in Dust Town, the raw edges of the city where no one lives but casteless and criminals. If you would help me in this, it would show the Assembly that I, and not Balin, have the ability to defend and rule this city. Do this, and I promise if I take the throne, I will not stop until the Assembly sends your troops. Look for Jarvia in Dust Town. Do whatever it takes to see that justice is served.
You must be under great strain with the blight upon the land. I will pray to the stone for you.
I'm here.
You need something?
News of the hour. Lord Harrowmont, proven to be working with surfacers. His betrayal of Dwarven values exposed.
Harrowmont has suckered the warden. Balin will not allow it.
Now it's better than later.
I am your death!
Did you talk to Harrowmont? What does he want you to do? That's a good plan. If he can claim credit for stopping the Carta, Harrowmont will be in Gwiddon with a lot of Deshers. It's a little odd, though, given his associations with Dusttown smugglers. Well, I'm surprised Harrowmont's protecting Orzammar from the Carta, when I have solid evidence his own cousin supplies their lyrium. These papers show ties between the Carta and young Harville Harrowmont. If you ensure they are found in Jarvia's possession, I guarantee the Prince will want to talk to you. And don't bother looking for Lord Helmi and Lady Dace. This is a far better way to prove your worth.